My name is Rifat, and I run an IT business called True Blue IT Services.
Would you be able to take us through the whole story, as in from the beginnings to where we are in terms of True Blue IT services?
I'm from a business background family, and it was always in my mind at some stage of my life I'll be starting a business. But the journey wasn't quite easy for me because I had to work for a minimum of 16 hours a day. I'm doing the accounting parts, I'm doing the digital marketing parts, I'm doing promotion in person, I'm doing creating contents, creating social media materials for the business, and managing clients and providing the service in person as well. Literally, one of my clients recently was telling me that Rifat, I was about to fly to Adelaide to get my software developed because I couldn't find anyone in Darwin, and they were asking for 300 grants, and I couldn't afford 300 grants as a business. The one you offered and the work you did, man, it's just changed my business perspective, and I'm looking for a long-term business relationship with you.
Tell us more sort of advice on generally how could someone just keep themselves positive and get through phases like these?
Yeah, look, the biggest strength as a human being you can achieve in life is
We have Rifat Mahmud, the director of True Blue IT Services, onto the first episode of the YNC podcast. It's a huge thing for me. Rifat shares a lot about his story, a lot about what he's gone through, and him building up his business, his mentors, how one could lead a good life balancing the 3 Fs. So I would encourage you to listen to this conversation very deeply, because this conversation it just blew my mind. I'm going to put him on. I'm going to let you guys listen to it. Tell me what you think about it. And yeah. Hey everyone, this is the first episode of the Young and Curious podcast, and we have the amazing Rifat from True Blue IT Services. Thank you so much for agreeing to this, Rifat. I'm
pleasure.
really very grateful to you for doing this. My goal today is to just be curious and get to know you more. And whereas what I would love for you to do is just think of how you could make people's lives better.
Yeah,
In simple terms.
of course.
Yeah. We don't have to be super specific. As I've said, this is a podcast. It's a very casual conversation between us. And welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the YNC podcast. Really grateful to have you. And let's just begin by tell us a little bit about, what you do. We all know what you do, but I feel like it would be great to hear from you.
All right, Abhi, thank you very much. And thank you for inviting me to talk in here. I believe it's going to be a great platform and opportunity for local students, international students, especially in Northern Territory plus all over Australia. And you are spreading some messages and some, discussion through your podcast. So thank you very much for starting this initiative. Well, first of all, I will like to introduce myself because a lot of people, a lot of this might not know me. My name is Rifat, and I run an IT business called True Blue IT Services. We are based in Darwin City. It's a business of 5 team members so far. We're not that big yet, but we are working hard, trying our best to grow slowly. My industry journey started with GovHack. I started with GovHack. I was part of GovHack back in 2018 when I was student at CDU. Then later on, I um, back in 2022, I reached out to GovHack because GovHack was quite in territory because of COVID and other circumstances. And then when I reached out to them, because there was some positions available as a volunteer, so I took up the position of regional lead for GovHack, and I would have said that I made it very much successful in 2022. Well, it's not just I would not just take the credit just by myself, but our team, like the team back then, especially it was um, Digita and Fardin. They worked really hard with me, so together we made it very successful, and that's how my industry journey began as a a public speaker, as a leader um, uh, with GovHack. Uh, During that time, I was working with the Northern Territory government as an IT support, and then, well, learn a lot of things regarding IT. And since because a lot of people doesn't probably know about the my background. So I'm from a business background family, and it was always in my mind at some stage of my life I'll be starting a business. But since I came in here, I was almost 10 years I've been living in Dao. So it I would not just my second home. It almost became my first home now because I've been living here and I love this place so much. And so I thought, why don't I start from here and from scratch? Um, well, the journey wasn't quite easy for me, but I'm going through it. I've gone through it, and now we become pretty sustained and quite stable now.
So, sorry, I'll just interrupt for a second. With you starring, would you be able to like take us through the whole story, as in like from the beginnings to where we are in terms of True Blue IT services?
Okay.
Because I definitely want to dig more deeper.
Yeah.
In terms of, because I feel like there could be there's a potential for a lot of great stories to come out. So, if you could please tell us more about how this whole journey started in terms of setting up your company.
Well, as I mentioned a little earlier, that um, I came from a business background family, and that's always, I think it's on my genetics and my blood. So no matter when and how, I will start a business. I will run my business. Um, I'm glad that I have started a bit earlier in my young age. But the journey wasn't quite easy for me because when I started, I registered my business in 2022. Uh, and when I registered my business, that time I didn't know much about business. So I started going and meeting some of my mentors. And I'd like to mention my mentors' name as well. You know some of them, Dante, St. James, Ali Dhirani. One of my mentors, he is in critical stage of his life with his health conditions. His name is Rick Carter. Is the founder of Moonshot Innovations in South Australia. Um, and so from those moments and a few other mentors from GovHack too. So from those mentors, I have learned the critical parts of the sides of the business. If I start this, what outcomes it can break for me, and what circumstances can happen, because it's not just just a thing you suddenly start and you finish it. It's a long-term goal that I have got. So I registered my business in 2022, and then started looking for my office. Um, I finally found something in end of the 2022, a place office space place in 16/19 Smithwick, the Charles Darwin Center, Paspalay building. And then I started thinking, it should not be just by myself. I should have engaged and encouraged some of my friends if they want to get involved. But everyone is quite busy. So I called out some of my friends. There were a couple of friends who came initially, and then they really supported me. I really appreciate their support. And they were involved, but because of their other commitments and their full-time jobs, they couldn't continue for a very long time. but um, I really wanted to work together with them. But again, it's their personal perspective. They have got some reasons to not to continue with me. Um, and I was continuing by myself. It was quite difficult for me because I had to work for a minimum of 16 hours a day. I used to sleep. To be honest, like it's not just a common thing that successful people who lives and sleeps in the office. I'm not saying I'm successful, but I had to sleep. I obviously because because I used to live in Karam at that time, and my office is in city in town. So I used to come really early in the morning, 6 7 a.m. every day, and because I'm the only person in the business, I'm doing the work, I'm doing the accounting parts, I'm doing the marketing, digital marketing parts, I'm doing promotion in person, I'm doing creating contents, creating social media materials for the business, and managing clients and providing the service in person as well. Uh, so it wasn't quite easy job for me. I had to spend a lot of hours, and I'm a human being, so I would have get exhausted, and I just literally used to have a nap and sleep there, because my house was a bit far from my office, so yeah, working continuously for 16 hours is not possible. So many people who knows me during that time, they saw me even at night at 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. I'm at my office. I'm running, doing my things. But again, I knew what I'm doing, which is most important. I always advise to my fellow entrepreneurs or to my fellow students, especially international students, if you're doing something, if you know that what are we doing, you will reach out to your goal at some stage. It might have taken some times, a little longer, but you will reach out there for sure. There's no doubt on that. Slowly but surely, as everyone says. Um, and then, yeah, it was it people. I was getting a bit of attention and attraction from everywhere, especially for the government. And then I slowly started bringing team members. I I brought one team members, and then every time I brought one interns, and then I took another team members and I took another intern. So uh, I always try to, because it's not possible to bring too many things, because it's a matter of, because I didn't have a lot of investment in my business. I had a very little investment. I'll talk about that investment part, and that might be a lesson for a lot of your audience too. Um, so I didn't have a lot of investment on this business, because I just the money I could save from my NTG job, my IT job, I invested a little from that, because I had to um, spend some for my daily life as well. So I couldn't bring many team members at the same time. I could bring, like, I probably recruited someone, if I can, as much as I can recall, part time initially, and then they used to work for part time, and I felt like, okay, I could bring an intern now, so I brought an intern, excuse me, to help us out in certain things, um, and then I brought another team members, but most of the team members in my business were part time initially. Now I have got part time, full time, casual team members. They're all, uh, pretty much permanent team. It wasn't my team, but that time I was to go for a temporary contract with them. They used to work. And 2023, I have gone through a lot. I have gone through a lot of challenges, a lot of struggles. I started working with Starlink. That brought a lot of attention to the local industry and community, because I was uh, trying to not just to uh, help them to install it or get it. I was trying to enlighten the community and the customers and the clients, that how we can help you out. So I started creating a lot of social media contents, that what Starlink is, how does it work, and how we can help the local industry, especially the business now back in rural areas, because there isn't any network connections, very well network connections. Telestra has good connections, but it's not quite enough. And a lot of my audience has has reached out regarding this matter, and and they have been very much benefited out of this service, at some stage. Then web development was another issue because a lot of businesses there were scared that okay, what if I get web development services from someone? Because there are a few other web developer business in Darwin, but they charge a lot. So I charged a quite reasonable price and tried to make some standard website for them. They were quite happy about it. I could now so far we have got many websites we have developed throughout this way, but I'm talking about last year, 2023, when I started, promoting the web developing services as well. And it went pretty well. The Starlink service went pretty well. Well, Starlink service, it wasn't just providing the service, the setup service or the social services for them. It was about telling them like how it can help you out.
Yes.
That went pretty well, and that's how it really attracted the local industry. We have got ICT Business of the Year award last year. So Trueblue IT Services was, ICT Business of the Year last year, and I personally was the ICT Professional of the Year 2023 as well. So that brought another big attention to the industry. Okay, these guys are doing something great. They're trying to help the industry and the community and the businesses. Now, I always keep digging to understand and see what's the requirements of this place. In case of technology and related perspective, and then I started understanding that software development, app development is another things that I should have start focusing on, because there are probably some app developers businesses available in Darwin, but no software development. And I'm like, well, that's another thing, because I have got a little interest, and in the meantime I had a team member who can help me out with that. I had a little interest in the development too, because we already do web development. So why don't you try this side of business? And I started promoting the app development services too, and guess what, we have got great attention, especially this year, and we submitted some successful project, and this brought us a lot of attention, because literally one of my clients recently was telling me that, like, Rifat, I was about to fly to Adelaide to get my software developed, because I couldn't find anyone in Darwin, and I found one who will probably get it done from another company from interested anyway, and they were asking for 300 grants, and I couldn't afford 300 grants as a business. But the one you have done, the one you offered, and the work you did, man, it's just changed my business perspective, and I'm looking for a long-term business relationship with you. So he gave us 2 years contract to look after his software. So we developed the software, plus we got 2 years contract with him to look after software. Again, though we develop the software, I believe he will continue pretty much forever with their software, because to look after the software. I suppose there is version 1, version 2 of software will keep coming, because he is about to resell the software to his to other businesses too.
Yeah.
So now we can see, and then the other thing I found that here, one thing people struggle with, because we did support, we provided support for CRM setup for a couple of businesses, and especially some departments, government departments, they needed CRM setup support. So we were providing CRM setup support, but it's not quite easy, because when you buy CRM from HubSpot or Salesforce or many other Monday.com or many other service provider, you get the subscriptions, you get it set up, but later on you have to do other tasks too, like to continue to use it in proper way, and they don't get all this support from those service provider, because they're not in Darwin, they're not in NT, they're not even in Australia. Many of the, they don't even have any people in Australia literally. So from that perspective, even though they were asking for support online, it wasn't coming in a right time, in a right way. So I've found that many customers are so much frustrated. Many of my clients who use CRM are very much frustrated with their service provider, And that's why they call us sometimes to, provide them some of those, setup services and support on those. And then I thought, okay, why don't we design one by ourselves and start helping out the local business? Then I talked to my mentors, and like my mentors were advised me that like, oh, that sounds like a great idea, because first of all, you're supporting the local business. Second of all, if they need any service, like, because you see most of the theater businesses are not like tech friendly. Yeah, uh, they they're okay with their business perspective. They know what are doing there in their business, but they don't understand the technology much. So if we provide them the CRM service, we can provide them the other service too. Like in case of maintenance, the CRM. In case of how to use them, we can train them. And this brought another great attention when we started TrueBlue Connect. Okay, so TrueBlue Connect, we didn't had to promote it in so widely. We just launched it and talked to a couple of businesses, local businesses, especially uh, Business Enterprise Center, Northern Territory, Darwin Hub, that where we have brought this serial product, and that we are selling it as a subscription center. We kept the price quite reasonable. It's 149 monthly here, so anyone can afford it, and it does pretty much all the job what other CRM does. Plus, it has got automation functionalities too, and so all these businesses, they started using this one, and then they started bringing other more the clients for us. Like, hey, if you are starting with CRM, why don't you try TrueBlue Connect? They like local guys, and they can help you. If you need support, you can, even if you don't prefer online, you can sit at their office, and they will help you in person to set up your CRM too. So, and that's what brought a lot of attention, and we got a lot of clients in for CRM too. So you see, it started from just general MSP, managed IT services, and then web development, installing app development, software development, and CRM now. So it wasn't just it didn't came just in a day or two. It came slowly because I know what I'm doing, and I know how I can help territory businesses, because territory businesses really need support. I get feedback about other businesses who do they work with, and they're not getting quite prompt responses, because many of them has got a lot of clients, and just doesn't provide response in time. So it makes a lot of businesses frustrated. So that's what our plan is, like not to make the business just a ticket-based business, because most of the IT business in down is ticket-based business. You call them, they'll create a ticket for you. Then when they will schedule a timing, they do it for you. So what we try to do as an IT service provider, we assign our IT guys for certain businesses. So that means if you are a business and you need IT support, you don't have to reach out to TrueBlue IT services, phone call, through phone call and talk about your issues, or I don't have to send email. You can directly reach out to your technician, and that means that you're not wasting time. So you're getting prompt response, because if you're an IT service provider, that means, let's say our technicians, it can be Joel, it can be Fahim, they know that their clients, and they know where their business is located, and what's their issue, and what their issue can be, and what setup they have got. So if you reach out to the technician directly, you can get prompt response. Plus, they can resolve the issue quickly. So it doesn't come through a ticketing, process where it might have taken time. So that's what we are implementing. We are taking clients as much we can provide support, not taking a bit more or not taking a bit less, because we have to make sure our technicians are quite able to provide service to the clients within that a period of time. So
Basically, just maintaining the numbers.
Yeah.
The service provided is prompt and efficient.
yes,
Which is a lot of business fail to do that, because once they start getting clients, they just expand, and then they have this whole bunch of people. But when the people need support, and there's not really someone that they can like immediately go out to. But I feel like having someone assigned to you where you could just go and be like, hey, I need help. That person could just come to you and just solve your.
yeah,
But yeah,
yes.
really interesting.
Yeah. So in a lot of locator businesses, they are lacking this idea because some of the business we work with, they're successful business. They don't have time to wait for you for 15 minutes or 30 minutes or probably a day. So if someone can respond to them quickly, it might be like 15 minutes job to do. If it's possible to do it online, we do it online. If it's not possible to do it online, if you have to get it done in person, our team quickly go there and provide the services in person as well. So all these things, we are trying to work out, and still we are trying to promote more and more about our policy, our services and terms and conditions to make people aware that there are hope, because a lot of people are quite frustrated in case of their IT perspective because they are not getting enough services. And also if it's about software development or app development, they're going to interstate or probably outside of Australia, where we have got enough resources in here, because I am directly involved with some clubs and teams and organizations in Charleston University, and other educational institutions in Darwin, in Northern Territory. And when I talk to their members, their students, I see there are a lot of resources in here. There are a lot of talents, but the industry doesn't know that they have these talents available in here, and they can get this job and work done within Darwin, within territory, and they don't have to. The industry doesn't have to go outside of Australia or interstate to get these services done. And to do this, we started a program which is about to start from 9th of November, 9th of December this month. We call it CodeUp NT. So we are trying to, it's not just about upskilling our programmers, it's about connecting them with the industry. So there will be multiple mentors throughout their programming. This 12 weeks program, starting from December, it will be, and by the end of the February, and we'll do the finalize it by on our March. And throughout this program, we will bring a couple of mentors and industry leaders, so that they can get directly involved to the industry. They know the industry, and industry knows them, and where the industry needs them, especially the government departments, the different government agencies, some local successful business like Domination Hub. If they need any talents, any developers like them, they can quickly come and grab one of them and then get the job done. So on that way, our goal is to make sure that the local resources, the local students, that can be international students, local professionals, are being utilized, their knowledge is being utilized locally, and the industry is spending the money they were spending for to boost others' economy, other states' economy, or outside of Australia, it's been spent in here. So this way, we are supporting local students too. We are trying the industry to grow their economy, because our goal is to make territory's economy to 40 billions by 2030. And I believe if we work together, it doesn't matter True Blue IT Services is a small company or big company, or how much we are contributing on the economy, but at least we would be proud to say, acknowledge that True Blue IT Services has contributed something to the economy to boost it, to make it $40 billion by 2030. So that is our goal.
Yeah. It's amazing. That's so much information there. So if I was to break down this whole thing, and ask you, in terms of, let's say, random student, let's say Abhi, he wants to start a business, right? And then starting from you having a mentor, then going on to finding something that you're interested in, then going on to really getting inside the market, finding your fit, and then further like connecting yourself to the community, being an actual problem solver. So there's a lot more to it. If you were to summarize all of that, and this is my first like proper question, how would you sort of bring it all together and say to someone, like, let's say me, I want to start a business, what should I do?
Well, the first thing first, for a business, the requirements is not just as a business, you as a person, as a human being. The three things I always advise, that you've always focus on 3F, which is your family. First F for your family. For another second F is for your finance. Third F is your fitness. So if you can make stable and sustain this 3F, your family, finance, and fitness, you will be, I believe, more or less happy in your life. You will enjoy your life. So if you have a goal or plan to start a business, you know, the two things you must focus on is hard work and consistency. Consistency really matters. It doesn't matter like how bad your idea is, but if you are a hardworking person and constant on that, you can make your bad idea a great idea. So you can have like the for an example for you. So you started Meta Academy, you know, and no matter how many people are approving that or admiring that or accepting that, or no matter how many people are rejecting that, if you continue constantly, you know, promoting this, working on this, at some stage, the universe will push you to become successful. So that's how I think. Um, the way of starting a business, because you have to be constant, you know, no matter what it, because you know, being part of this business for the last couple of years, it didn't just come up in one day, and the success and the sustainability didn't come up just within a day. It took time, and it still is taking time. I'm not getting settled yet, because I'm slowly implementing new things on business and new things on my team, so that it will not just help ourselves as a business, it will help a community and the industry too. So first thing first, you have to focus on you have to be quite committed to do hard work, because you know, we might have get motivated sometimes in life, like, oh, I can do hard work, but you have to be constant on that, because that 16 hours of work I did every day, that wasn't just for a day or for 3 months. That was for a very quite long time, until I could afford 3 team members in my team, so that I can split my task within them, and I could take some time for myself and my family. But again, as soon as I could get that, I have started spending more time with my family, which is very important, and my fitness too, because my fitness wasn't in a great shape for a while, but I, you know, I started working on that as soon as I got chance, you know. So 2023, it didn't, to be honest, like, you know, in Australia is it's a country of opportunity, you know, you will be able to create opportunity sooner or later. Yeah, in financial perspective, it might be sometimes difficult because things are very costly. If you afford your rent, if you afford your food and other cost by yourself, it's going to be bit difficult initially, but within a year or within a couple of months or within a couple of years, you can get sustained, or you can be stable, so that you know, you don't have to work as hard you working at the initial stage. So if you can create that mindset that I will be dedicated, you know, I will be in a mission for at least, you know, for a certain period of time. You have to make a timeline that this period of time I'll be working hard, and you know, but make sure as much as possible, as little as possible, spend time for your fitness, spend time for your family, so that you know, you don't um, uh, they don't think that your family doesn't think, okay, he's just, getting away from us. So keep minimum, relationship with your family as much as possible if you can. But again, though you will be busy with your work, make sure of that too. And if you can do that, and if you can make up your mind that I will be this much dedicated, and I will spend this much of time and effort for the business I'm starting, sooner or later it will be successful. There is no doubt on that.
Brilliant, brilliant. So I'm just gonna dig a bit more deeper and ask you to tell us more about the three Fs you just mentioned, because I feel like one of the Fs, yes, two of the Fs actually, I've also kind of struggled with managing my family, fitness, and finance. Right? I'll tell you more about me. Finance hasn't been a main thing for me, but it's a side thing. However, to get the finance thing up, I'm not in the stage where I could get a finance thing up. I'm more working on sort of myself, learning new skills, spending more time out there, and that has sort of affected me being able to spend time with my family and also be on my fitness. So, firstly, I just want you to just briefly expand on that, and then I have a second follow up question. So, yeah, just tell us.
Regarding the family perspective thing that you have to work on, it's the most important thing in your life. If you can create a great relationship, the bond of love and genetic, and if you continue that throughout your whole life, life is full of ups and downs, you know and you might have go through some miserable time, you might have go through some bad time, but if you are connected with your family, those time you can pass very quickly and easily, because your family, no matter how, they will make sure that you're not in a such conditions. You will be suicidal, you'll be depressed, you will be sad for a very long period of time. Yes, ups and downs is a very common thing in life and as a human being. So if you can make sure, if especially an international student, because we live far from home, and if they can make sure that they are connected with their families, can be connected to, they can talk to them every day and can share their thoughts and the problems in life. They might not be able to help them directly in some sort of way, but at least they can say that no matter what, we are here, or we will be there for you, in your life. And that gives you a lot of courage, a lot of you know um, motivation to move on, to continue, not to give up. So that's why no matter what you do in your life, it can be business, entrepreneurship, can be a podcast, can be something with music. If you have got good bonding with your family and your loved ones, they will keep motivating you, and sooner or later you will find the success. And as soon as you find a little success, they will admire you more, and then you'll go for more success and they'll admire you more. And that's how you become very successful in life. That is why being connected with your family, spending time with your family, and focusing on a family is very important. Now the next thing is fitness. So a lot of people, I think, has got a misconception about the fitness things, that it might be just about bodybuilding, showing off, but ultimately, because my fitness journey has been a while. When I was in my grade 12, I started doing workout, and uh, in the meantime, it has been very ups and down as well. Sometimes I did bulky, sometimes I tried six pack, but now I'm quite busy with business since last couple of years. I just focus on the regular fitness, like at least I'm not, because I love to eat, and then if I don't work out at all and I'm just eating, I would gain weights. And I'm pretty sure if I gain weights, I'm not going to like myself at some stage because so and it's not just about your physical fitness, because that fitness is directly related to your mental health too.
Yes.
Because first of all, if you work out, it's a great recreational activities that you are doing. It will help you to connect with more people. It will help you to spend some me time, because you are just focusing on yourself, listening some podcasts in the meantime, and listening some favorite music, and that's helping you to focus on yourself for a little longer. Because in this generation, we are, apart from our regular job and regular things, we're always in social media looking at contests and stuff, and that's literally blowing up our brains, our mind, because most of them are irrelevant.
That is very interesting. With the fitness, could you, so yeah, the social media aspect, could you sort of narrow down firstly on the physical fitness and then talk us a little bit about mental fitness, and then we'll dig in more in terms of um, grief and sorrow and all these other things. So just let's finish with the physical fitness first, and then let's move on to it.
Well, the simplest thing is, if you are a fit person, let's say you have got a proper you're quite fit, and when you look at front of the mirror, you are proud of yourself. No matter what, how miserable your other perspective is in life, you'll still be happy, because damn, I look good in front of mirror. At least I look good. So that thing will just keep pushing you. Like it will not. So if let's say if you're unfit and standing in front of mirror and you're like, oh, what the hell I'm doing, what I'm eating. That's the first thing. You look at yourself when you wake up in the early in the morning, and if your first impression about you isn't great, then the rest of the day probably will not go well. You probably will feel demotivated. So that thing is really important. And the first boost, when you're looking at yourself, you're seeing that you are fit, and then that's keeping you happy. That's like literally from the first stage. It's connected to your mental health. That's motivating you. Oh, I look fit. People will see, the thing I'm doing probably will not successful, but people, when I look up, when my first impression in front of people will be great, because they're looking at me, they think I'm a fit person, and then that will help you use some perspective to upskill your communication skill here, and other soft skill and other perspective too. So they're all correlated. Sometimes we can relate. We say, okay, fitness just means drinking a lot of whey proteins and lifting heavy weights. No, it's not like that. It's about looking after yourself, looking after the current you, looking after the future you, because you don't want to be unfit in future too. So if you don't want to be let's say you are probably fit now, but if you don't look after yourself, you will be unfit at some stage in future, because we're human being. We these changes in our body every single day. So that's another thing we have to consider.
Yeah, so it's a very, very interesting thing with the fitness. So, once you get your physical fitness, like let's say you start going to the gym, you start working out, that's gonna automatically lead you to thinking about, oh, this is one thing that I'm working on, or maybe I should also start wearing better clothes.
Yes.
You start wearing better clothes, and then you're just like, oh, maybe I should also work on my communication. Maybe I should start studying or whatever I'm working on, and you should going after it. So it's a very interesting journey. So it's like, I don't want to call it going down a spiral, because going down a spiral sounds like a negative term all the time.
Yeah.
But it's a positive spiral in a way. Is that you start going to the gym, you keep it consistent, and that also helps you with the discipline thing that you had mentioned earlier, staying consistent, getting after it. Because once you start getting consistent in one thing,
Yeah.
you start getting consistent in the other domains of life.
Yeah.
And of course, that sort of brings us to the mental health bit. So tell us a bit more about how could someone look after their mental health, and what are the negative stuff that is out there right now which is affecting our mental health?
Yeah, look, regarding mental health, everyone has different perspective, and I appreciate everyone's perspective, but my perspective is quite different because I believe this generation is quite concerned about mental health, but if you consider the previous generations, like past centuries, there was nothing much discussed about mental health, because before, if you have got any problem, people were more religious before. People were everyone believes in different gods, and when they're in problem, they either try to solve it out by themselves or they pray to God, and somehow that gets resolved and that people move on, right? But now we are looking at mental health, and people are saying, I'm depressed, I'm sad, I'm clinically, I'm mentally unwell. I don't believe and understand this perspective. Well, depression is bad. It's real, like PTSD and stuff. These things are real. It happens. I've got some friends and who has got PTSD and depression stuff. So I tried to help him out, and he got rid of that. Last year. But clinical mental health issue things, I'm not quite concerned about that, because if you really have got some issue, you have to resolve it by yourself. Yes, someone can guide you, but at the end of the day, that has to be resolved by yourself. So the first advice I would say, no matter which God you believe, pray to your God, to like, God, help me out. I'm in a bad situation, because some situation humankind can help you out. So what do you do as a human being? If you're praying, if you believe in some God, you pray to God, saying like, please help me out so that I can resolve this issue, or I can get rid of this situation. The second thing is work out on it. Work out in such a way, try your best to get this resolved. Get help. The only thing we, especially the young generation, don't feel like to do is like to ask for help. Like, even if you don't ask for help, God will not help you. You have to ask. No matter asking help from your parents, from friends, from the community, ask help. If there are many people, good people in the community, in the society, who are there to help you out, so ask for help and get it resolved. There are always, and also in Australia, there are a lot of online services available who can talk, where you can talk and get it resolved. So my advice will be, don't make it a big issue, and then don't call for a pity party that I'm in depressions and I'm in problem. I'm being a bit harsh in here, but it's because of the audience's wellness. Please don't call for a pity party. Be quite serious about it and work it out, because at the end, your health matter to you, no matter it's physical health, your mental health. If you work on it, if you pray to God, or if you ask for support, it will be resolved at some stage. It might have taken some time. I have seen examples. It took a year for a person, but he got resolved, and he's doing great now. He's in a great stage of his life. He's enjoying, and every time I meet him, like, man, I just love my life and my bank account, because every time I go there, I feel happy. It's so well now, and in his fitness too has got fit, almost six pack. So these things can be resolved. It's just about time, and us,
Also, thinking how seeking help.
yeah,
There's a lot of stigma with a lot of people these days, especially in our communities. We can also say that seeking help is considered weak. It's considered a sign of saying that, but it's sort of overcoming that social barrier of thinking that seeking help is a weak thing to do. It's not. It's sometimes you must seek help, and it's not a bad thing to do. It's a good thing to do.
of course,
Yes, and as human beings, I feel like, what is the point of having genuine human connections? This is a major part, like to have genuine human connections, so that you could be supported in your good times and in your bad times. Some people also often say that when you share the good things in your life, your happiness gets doubled, and when you share the bad things, your sadness gets halved, so it decreases,
yeah,
and you have to let things go and also sort of grow out of it.
absolutely, yeah. But
Yeah, definitely.
to see the the human civilization didn't just happen in a day, and it didn't just happen by one person. It's always a teamwork. Behind great success, it's always a teamwork. So it's not just teamwork as a business, it's not just teamwork as a family, it can be teamwork as a community too. You know, it can be teamwork as a country as well. Like, we like, look at the country as a Singapore. They were not like as successful as they are, 30 years back, 50 years back. They were just, like developing country, but they work out as a team, and then they made it super successful. Now they're like, the richest country in the world now, and economically, technically, from technology perspective and all other perspective, they're growing so much. So in here, in your mental health perspective, when you need support, you have to always think that, okay, my life, I can be uh, uh, a strong person, a rough person. I can be, quite self-dependent. But in many stages of your life, you can't do things by yourself. You ask for help from others. That's how the civilization happened. Now, it really doesn't matter what current society think that you asking for help, and uh, that is being considered as weakness. That's quite shame on those people who think it in that way, because the civilization just didn't happen just by one person. It happened by support of each others. So support of each others is not just about supporting in business or supporting in family and finance or in job. Supporting during your bad time, your miserable time. And again, as I just mentioned earlier, life is full of ups and downs. Everyone, like, you talk about great successful people, like let's say Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett. They had gone through the miserable times too. And that's how they became super successful. But the thing is, who supported them during those miserable times, they remember them forever. So when I support someone, or when you support someone on their miserable time, I don't advise you or advise others to expect something on return. But no matter what, the world will bless you in such a way that you will be surprised. Yeah, the law of karma. If you talk about karma, don't want to go to that side, but yeah, the law of karma. Though you just brought in the topic of law of karma, that's like,
So definitely that's
it does work. It does work that way, So
and then it's the I'll let you expand, but I'll also share what I think. But like, yeah,
of course, yeah. So and doing great things for others, being dedicating things for others, sometimes will make you happy. And again, you're dedicating things for others, that doesn't mean you're giving up everything and it will not come back to you. The law of karma does work at the end, so you will get something in return, good or bad. That can be a mental peace that you are getting, so that's really important too. So it's always about asking help. If you need, ask help. Don't, I needed help. It started when I was starting my business. I've been quite confident to ask for help. Ask for help from my family. Ask for help uh, from my partner. Ask for help from my mentors. Local industry. But still, I'm going and asking for help. And again, when I ask for help, they're not just providing help. They're not supporting me. They're supporting themselves too in some sort of way. That that the industry, if the industry does help me now, at some stage, they will get something in return. Because I'm trying to working for the industry, working for the economy, so something will come back to. So it's always related to each house. Some people probably will not understand the circle of this, but you have to figure that out and start seeking for help if you need help.
Yeah. And with karma, what I've noticed is, and also since you briefly touched on God and spirituality a bit earlier, I feel like there's definitely an interesting idea. It's definitely very it's also abstract, and it's also an individual's thing. I don't know if it's me who feels it. You might feel this too. But the more you sort of start thinking about more abstract things like God or spirituality or religion in general, you tend to notice that you as a person slowly start to evolve. And let's say an example of this evolving could be knowing that karma, right? Karma, like let's say you did something good and something good happened to you, or you did something bad happened to you. What I've often noticed is, because we're not perfect as human beings. I'm not gonna come out here and say that, oh, I'm the best person. I've done all great things. But whenever like something bad or something ridiculous has happened, I've always sort of reflected on it and thought of it, and it kind of clicks that, oh, there was this one time when I did something bad like this too. And you could see how that kind of connects where, oh, that it's something bad now happened to you. Yeah. And I don't necessarily feel that with the good things, because with good things, I try to take it very, very like low key, very lively. I don't make a big scene out of it. But with the bad things, I get affected sometimes. And I would think of it, I would reflect on it, and I would feel like, oh shit, oh man, this happened. You could sort of go back and think, oh my gosh, is this why this is happening? Am I supposed to be learning something from this? Tell us more sort of advice on generally, how could someone just keep themselves positive and get through phases like these?
Yeah, look, the biggest strength as a human being you can achieve in life um, is believing in God. I believe because if you can make faith or believe in something, it in someone's existence which you didn't see, in person, but you believe, you created that faith on your mind. That's a great strength for you, because if you lie, if you steal things, probably no one is seeing you when you're doing it. But when you believe in God, you always believe that someone is seeing you, so that will literally stop you from doing any bad things. So we are human being. We are tend to do bad things. It's very common. Like, it's very common, not just about this generation or previous generation. We are tend to do, even though like our ancestors who are like quite brutal, they used to kill each others. They used to eat each others. They were like cannibalism in our previous history too. As a human being, we used to do those things. But sooner or later, when people started realizing and started believing in God, you see they got rid of those things. So the first thing first, to keep you motivated and positive, no matter what perspective is that, it's not advisable for everyone, because many of your audience might not believe in God, but I will just only advise you, only those people who believe in God, that being positive and being motivated in throughout your life, the first thing first, you have to believe in God, because that will stop you from doing from bad things. That will motivate you, help you to trust on someone when there is no help. And there will be many phases in your life, there will be no help for you at all. Some things you will not be able to share with your family, because it's such a thing. It's not shareable with family. Some things you might not be able to share with your best friend too, but you can share it with someone, someone who's seeing you and can and only can help you on that situation. So that is really important to stay positive. Second thing is to stay positive, that I believe, is believing on yourself. Once you started believing on yourself, again, ups and downs is very common thing. During your down times, during your miserable times, if you say, okay, I might have going through a really bad situation now, but I can overcome this situation. Yeah, it might have taken a bit of time, but I have to hold on to the faith of God. I have to continue on my hard work and my effort and my dedication. And I believe, again, the universe will force and push you to overcome that situation and become successful. So these things are very important if you want to stay positive and stay motivated. And again, staying positive and motivated are correlated, because if you are not positive, your motivation will not last very long time. If you are positive, you know what you're doing, and that's doing for well for people, doing well for community and others. That will keep motivating you to do it for a very long time and to sustain on that goal. So that's really important.
Beautiful.
Yeah, no, look, I've always tried to connect with the real time experienced people. Again, you said so many success, not yet so many success, but what I feel like success for me is, again, a lot of people totally doesn't understand that the entrepreneurships, business, my way of thinking about this matters is quite different, because I believe in social business rather than um, making money type of business. Because making money type of business is quite easy, trust me. Because you can make money just buying crypto. It's very easy now. Because when I started my business and invested in my business, if I invested that money on crypto, that would have come like 2 times, 3 times more now. Especially with the recent boost on cryptocurrency. But the way I think, because I live a lifestyle that is related to business, because it will keep me motivated, keep me pushed, keep me, because if you do business like just for money, you can make money at some stage of your life, and then you will feel like, okay, I've got enough money now, let's relax. That will not keep you motivated all the time. The social business perspective that I'm talking is will keep you motivated to go on, because you are making a little more or less money in here, but you are supporting the community, you are supporting people and around. So the community create a great relationship with you, will keep a great relationship with you. The people who create and keep a great relationship with you, and that's how you will enjoy your life more than the money making businesses. You got my point? I could easily, because there are current stage the sustainability I got in my business, especially doing app development, and other services that we provide, we can continue go on like, live for as many years as we want. But why I'm still part of GovHack, why I'm still part of Code, why I've just started CodeUp NT, and that's CodeUp NT is fully funded by True Law. So we are spending money out of our pocket to support the local students. So this is how the social business entrepreneurship idea comes from, because if I support someone, it's not nothing like I'm not getting any benefits. I'm creating a relationship, I'm connecting with them. So you have to create a medium, you have to create a way how we can connect to people, connect to community, connect to some sort of industry or organization. You know what I mean? So these things are very important. So here, every time I want to start or wants to do something, I at the initial stage I mentioned that the first thing first, I talk to someone. I have put multiple mentors, so I don't just make a random decision and start working on it. I make an appointment with my mentors. I sometimes wait for weeks after weeks to talk to them and sit in a quiet, relaxed place and explain them what I want and what they advise. Sometimes I make changes on my plans according to the advice of my mentors, and business advisors, but they help me out. And why I go to them? Because they have got like similar sort of experience or very close experience on this perspective, and that's why if I was having an issue of losing hairs, I would have definitely, look around and will go to a doctor who has got great, review about, hair resolving issues, hair resolving reputation, and also you will get the first impression looking at the doctor, and his communication, that like he can help you out or not. Yeah. That's a great thing to acquire. It comes from experience though. you can catch quickly that who will be the right person to help you or to make decision for you, who will not be. Again, I always advise it to our my fellow entrepreneurs and students that always pick your consultant, always choose your mentors wisely. Because many people will say, "Come to me, I'll help you," but unfortunately, they're calling you for their own benefits.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you have to choose wisely. That's very important too, because a good person, a good mentor, a good consultant can change your life. So always think. It's an advice for everyone. Always think twice, or probably 3 times before you select someone. Really important.
Absolutely.
Choose your doctor wisely.
Choose your doctor wisely. Choose your doctor wisely. Quote of the day. I'm gonna sort of ask you, because you've told us, given us lots of great information, shared lots of great insights. Now I want to know more about how does an average day in your life look like now? Because before it was 16 hours a day working. Now you sort of have that balance, and you're still growing, still getting so much more done, still expanding, still doing the best for your customers, and also engaging the community on such deeper levels. How does an average day look like for you? And how are you still balancing everything in your life? Just tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, and as I mentioned earlier, the previous stage, like the initial stage of doing the business entrepreneurship wasn't great. That was quite unhealthy and unbalanced. But again, I always focus. I always tried. Okay, I create a draw a timeline that within this period of time, I will overcome this challenging situation. I'll reach out in such stage where I will not be able to. I don't have to works for 16 hours and have to work even during the weekend. So now I sometimes work on the weekend, but that's what I try to balance it out in such a way. So now my regular day looks like I wake up really early in the morning. That's one thing I always do. I try to wake up early in the morning. Now at around probably 5:30, and then I finish up things and I go to work at. It quite depends on how busy I am, but most of the times I go by 8 a.m. It sometimes, if I need to go a bit earlier, by 7 a.m., I do there 7 8. I do that. My office goes on till 5 p.m. most of the times. Sometimes if I have to stay back, I stay back. Sometimes if I can pass this task to my team members for the next day, I try to get out of office, and the next thing I'll go to G. Again, having such a long day, it's not possible to work out for a very long time, and I have got rid of all my supplements and other things that I used to take before. So now it's just all natural. I don't take any more supplements, like not even pre-workouts or whey protein either.
Is that currently a good thing that's happening in your life? So do you feel better not taking supplements?
I feel better, yeah, because I'm trying to live a healthier life in a natural way. So eating naturals, veggies and stuff, and meat, like average portion of meat and fish. But before it wasn't quite healthy, and also I used to take a lot of because I had different phases in case of workout and my physical health. There was a time back in 2022 and 2021, I was doing bulking. So that time I used to consume a lot of protein, like a lot of meat and other protein sources as well, pretty much every day. And now I feel like, okay, there is no, because I have got a balanced lifestyle and balanced fitness. So I'm trying to keep it like sustained. That like, okay, it doesn't have to be something like artificials, like whey protein, pre-workouts. I sometimes take some multivitamins, some fish oils, but that's all. I don't take anything on top of that. Just to keep it like moderate. I don't have to be a bodybuilder. Now the other thing is, so I cannot like having such a long day. I cannot work out more than an hour. So I finish it within 50 minutes to an hour, and then I go home. I get freshen up. The first thing I do, I go because I've got some plants at home. and I love my plants. And then I water my plants when I go home. That's my first thing. When I enter my home, I plant my water because it's almost evening. So, that's the best time to water your plants. I've got some indoor plants, some outdoor plants. So I look after them personally by myself. And then, and then I try to have my dinner by at around 7 p.m. And that's all. Then after that, either I um, watch movie or read books. I'm trying to create a habit of reading more books because I'm trying to reduce my screen time. I just worked at front of screen for 9 hours the whole day, so I don't want to look at screen after coming at home. So that's why I'm, trying to create a habit of, uh, you know, um, doing more gardening and reading more books rather than watching movie or social media. Oh, I literally doesn't have any social media on my phone, so I literally kept myself restricted on that thing. So there is no social media on my phone, no Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube.
Great.
Yeah,
Great.
because if it's easily accessible, you will just go there and then you spend and waste your times.
Yeah.
But I have that on my at my work, in my work PC. So even if I want to look at my Facebook once or twice a day, I can do it for like 5-10 for maximum for 5-10 minutes because right after that I have to jump back to my work again. So so I kept myself restricted to that. Don't spend much time more than 30 minutes in my day on social media, no matter it's Facebook or other social media. Yeah, Black than a pocket, and it's mostly like rechecking the contents our team has published for businesses. So it's just rechecking the contents. That's all.
Yeah. So work purposes, social media only mostly for work and communication purposes. It is not for scrolling or like wasting your time, which is great. And I feel like being in your position, doing the amount of work that you're doing and balancing everything in your life, I think if you add another thing that you have to balance, which is your social media, it's a huge toll. With your social media, it's also a very interesting topic for the generation today. My friends, I constantly hold them so accountable for not scrolling, not saying that I'm perfect. I end up scrolling on weekends sometimes too. But I'm very mindful of the fact that this is this is affecting my brain. I'm consuming content. I'm learning patterns, the finger, thumb, and eye thing. So this is all not good for me. I know that this is not good for me, so I don't do it. I try to avoid it as much as I can, but of course, on the occasional, it happens to be. For some people, though, however, the scrolling thing has become
Addictive.
such an addiction or such an important part of their life. Like, let's say if someone's traveling in a bus, you wouldn't see you wouldn't see people talking to each other on the bus anymore. They're just scrolling in their own zone. Or if you see someone waiting in an appointment room or something, they're scrolling. Or if someone is eating, a lot of people scroll while they eat these days. Just consuming. And if you consume good things, like let's say you're listening to audiobooks or you're listening to a podcast, for example, so just promoting or something. But if you're doing something that's good for you, if you're learning something new, great. But if you're just mindlessly going through it, then I don't know.
So common.
And
If you, as you just said, if you mindlessly going through it, that means you're becoming mindless. Yeah, that's the better issue. So for 2024, the most searched Google word is regarding this I think brain rot. So brain rot. So yeah, that's what. So people are searching what is brain rot. So this is what it's just coming through that our generation is especially the Gen Z is more into this. Well, many of them are becoming successful depending on this. I truly appreciate, but the most of them are sufferer because they are going through it. Looking at this all the time. It's not good. So brain rot is a very common thing that's happening everywhere because they don't know what are they watching. So you can relate to a contest looking at it for 30 seconds because you will forget that after within the next couple of minutes. So there is no point of watching that one until you have fun. So regarding the podcast things, that's really helped me out. So when I work out, I listen some great podcast. That's why I had some subscription so that I can listen some podcast smoothly. I tried to listen audiobooks. That doesn't work for me, so I got rid of that. But I read books. Instead of listening audiobooks, I read books. I can relate more and can create. So one thing the generation doesn't understand that, like, the video that you are watching, it stays, it doesn't last on your brain for a very long time. But when you read book, you imagine, you create a world, on your imagination, and that lasts very long period of time. So when I was kid, I used to read a lot of books, like Mark Twain's book, and there was a book, um, you know, um, the son of King and the son of Labora, and that story always, because I created, when I was kid, I read that book, I created that scene in my imagination, and I was always remember that. I'll always remember. Anytime he ask me about the Mark Twain book story, I can tell you that, So when you create book, you can create um, imagination world, imagination scenery, and that will last longer. So anything you are reading that could be related to your business, your career and profession, that will, you know um, last there forever, if you want to get that from reading book. That's why you see the scholars, they don't advise you that you watch some videos. Yeah, you can watch some tutorial videos. There are a lot of potential videos in YouTube, but the scrolling things, that's a major issue. uh, well, no one is concerned about this, because I'm not sure there might be benefits for their industries, big industry people, or someone who is controlling this matrix. Well, matrix is another topic if I want to discuss. There are a lot of topics in here to discuss on podcast, especially because you can't say that always on blogging, on circles, on other platforms. So someone is controlling this matrix. That's why it's coming to you and it's pushing you to watch it again and again. Uh, Needs to be controlled, because it's affecting the brain rot thing you just mentioned. It's affecting, and the outcome is brain rot. Brain is rotting, and we don't want this to happen to all our upcoming generation or current generation, especially Gen Z is suffering from it. So it needs to be stopped, needs to be worked on. Very important. So yeah, needs to be worked on as soon as possible. um, but yeah, I'm not saying that I'm 100% perfect, but I try to, because
As long as we try,
as long as my try.
yeah, think about someone who's trying to quit smoking cigarettes, for example. If they don't think that, oh, I need to quit this,
Yeah.
then they're not gonna quit this. They're just gonna keep smoking.
No, really, yeah. I well, if you talk about weekend things, people complains a lot about, let's say people who lives in Darwin, they complain about, oh, there's nothing much to do in Darwin. I go to botanical garden every weekend, and every time I go there, it feels like new to me, because it rains now every day. So all the flowers, like different flowers, blooms uh, every week. And then when you go there, it looks different.
Yeah.
So even I don't get bored of looking at those flowers and the garden. So if you really want to do some recreational activities, do something. There are, like, you can go for gym. There are a lot of there are groups. Does cycling, does what do you call fitness activities together. So join those places. What I trying to do. There is always solutions. If there is nothing that you can see that is not available in Darwin, well, that can be a business for you, because you can start that one, and then you can acquire finance from that, and also you do it by yourself too, though you enjoy that thing. So rather than just keep complaining, do it by yourself, or try it, or make a group of people who can help you out with that, and who enjoy the same things, so it's but similar mindsets. So I don't get along a lot with people who keeps complaining about their life and the situation, because you always can work on. There is always there to the always support over there. You just have to ask for it. One thing I will, one quote I will say in here. I heard it from one of my great friend, Ali Dhirani, the the director, the founder of Summarising consultant. Ali always said that if you don't ask the question, the answer is always no. You know, so I usually didn't get the point why Ali said that if you don't ask the question, the answer is always no. Now I get it. So if you don't ask for help, that means you're not getting help.
Shut up, Ali.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
yes,
That's
it's
so
not,
good.
isn't it? So I always keep that in mind that you have to ask for help. You have to ask the question. Yeah, today you asked me to come in here. That's why I came in here. If you didn't ask me, if you said thinking, oh, Rifat might be too busy, or Rifat might be, man of attitude, he will not come in here. I would never come in here. Or
Don't know about the man of attitude, because I know you're a great person. But thank you so much.
No, it's my pleasure. I'm glad that I'm talking and sharing my experience in here. So I'm quoting my friend's quote in here because it's really important. If you ask, there will be support. For probably if not from the first person, probably for the second person. But if you don't ask, the answer is always no. So feel free to ask. You must ask. Yeah.
Let's gear it up to, for the ending bit, let's gear it up to focusing more on, let's say, someone who's in their younger age, 16 to 35. What would your let's start with generic, and we'll try to dig in deeper. Let's start with generic stuff. What do you, so the 3S, that's one. Other than that, what do you want to just say to these people? What do you want to say to the youth of our country? I'll add more context to it. Please. And how could someone be like you? How could someone learn from you? How could someone be influenced from you and sort of start finding their direction and start going in that direction?
Well, as you created draw a pattern of 16 to 20 age, or the people who are in their 20s, many of them might
Even 30s.
even 30s. Okay, many of them might not understand the 3F philosophy that I just shared. But one thing I would like to advise to all of them is you never lose trust on yourself. That is really important. Now, many of us, we struggle, we go through this phase, and we have got plans and we have got goals, but we don't have the courage to manifest them. Please do. It is really important for you, because you are important for the community. Don't just think that you are asking for help. You are supporting the community too. Many of the students, they come to me, good talents. They come to me, to the industry, and they probably ask like that. Okay, can you please help me out? It's not about I'm helping you. You're helping myself, to grow a business. You're helping GovHack to make it bigger. You are helping CodeUp to make it successful program. So don't underestimate yourself. This is what we do. Especially if I talk about international students, they don't understand this philosophy that you are boosting the economy of this country. So be very much proud of it. Say, from today onwards, say that I'm helping this economy. I'm helping to boost this country's economy. So I'm part of this country. Whatever I do, it goes to economy, and be proud of that, and be motivated. Keep doing things and never lose trust and confidence on yourself. This is really important things that I would like to share for that young generation and people at my age, or who is older than me, because this is happening a lot. Many students, they feel seems like very much less confident, even though they are very experienced. They have got skills. They have got other qualities in themselves. So try to bring that out. What are you good at? And also, you just mentioned that advise someone who wants, how they can be like you, who wants to be you. I will never advise that. Only advice I'll give, just be you, don't be me. I have to do a different life. started quite different perspectives. So just be yourself, whatever you're good at. Some of them good at, creating contents. Do that. If you make your bad idea the best idea, and initially you must do it in silence. A lot of people might not know about it, but if you continue, keep working hard on that and put your effort onto that, that will become successful. Again, I'll bring another quote in here. You might have know about the greatest Persian poet, Maulana Jalaluddin Rumi. So Jalaluddin Rumi said one thing. I really love that quote. He's like, it's not thunder which helps flower to bloom, flowers to grow, plants to grow. It's rain which helps flowers to grow. So be rain, don't be thunder, because thunder is very noisy. Rain is calm, little quiet, and it goes slow. So
Goes for longer.
go for longer, just like that.
second. Okay.
Don't be thunder. It might take time. It might go slow, but be consistent into that, and you will be able to grow flowers too in your life, and that flower means success in your life. So I always remember that quote, for my personal perspective too. So always, be grateful whatever you have in life. Work with that. We don't just blame yourself. I can complain. I can complain about my life, my situation. I can call for a pity party. Can cry it out. But again, that's not going to resolve my issue. The only thing can help you. Only person can help you is you. And you can pray to God. God will help you. God has enough to help you. So you pray to God, but tie your camel first. So there's another quote, as a Muslim we believe, is you trust in God, but tie your camel first. I learned it from Dante. Dante, in one of his LinkedIn posts, he has written about this one, that trust in God, but tie your camel first. You can't just untie your camel and get trust. Oh, my God will help me to grow, raise this camel without tying this one. So tie it first and then trust in God. Pray to God. God, will help me to feed my camel, and and so that I can it get grown, and I can sell it with a bigger price. So tie your camel first. Pray to God, but the hard work, the effort, you have to put it from your side. And then the society, the community, your friends and family will come to you, help you, and the universe will force you to grow. So that is it's universal truth too. It's not just my perspective of a way of thinking. It comes. I talk to many people throughout this journey, and still I'm talking because I believe in certain things. In case of living life and success, where it doesn't just be written it's not written in any book, or probably hasn't been quoted by some scholars yet. But there are some certain things I believe, and everyone has got different perspective and way of thinking. But on top of everything, trusting in God and believing in thyself, in yourself, is really important. If you want to become successful, doesn't mean, I always say to my younger siblings that I want to be successful, but that doesn't mean that you work for Google, or you become CEO of Google, you become CEO of Microsoft. The successful I mean you to be is be a person who people will love, admire. You are more or less, really doesn't matter. I'll be there always to help you, but don't ever hate yourself, or don't make any situation that people or your family will hate you. So that's what success is. So keeping that motivation and goal in your mind, go ahead with other goals that you have on your mind, and the desires you have to become what you want to be, keep working on that. You start from now. Don't wait for to finish your graduation and start. You start from today. Keep working on it as much as possible, as little as possible. And when you are quite ready, just just create a lot of noise and launch it with a full force and motivation that here I am. I'm going to start with this one. Again, if anyone in this phrase, in this situation, wants any advice, I would like to share it from my little knowledge that I have, little experience that I have. If I am not able to advise enough, I'm happy to connect the audience with my mentors as well. They are great support. They are great people. I really appreciate them, and I've always admired my mentors, and I always talk about them because I consider them as my master and my guru. And having guru in your life is really important. A lot of us, especially the current generation, might think, "Oh, I don't need anyone, but you need." Because you have to ask, and also experience comes with age. So all my mentors, they gain their experiences throughout their the journey, and that's how they know more than lead. That's how they know better than me. So that's why I always go. I don't feel ashamed to go to them, to reach out to them. I always go to them. I ask them questions. It might be sound sometimes silly. I don't mind. They don't understand that, like, it's his initial stage. He's learning, so I'm teaching you. But I'll be the I'll be greatest admirer for them forever in my life.
So we have so from in India, we have these, when we were all together, we have these people called Sant. And there was this very famous Sant, I think Sant Kabir,
Yeah.
who said that. So I'll just quote his the actual verse of the poem, which is Guru Govinda Ukare Kake Lagu Paye, Balihari Guru Aapne Govind Diyo Bataye, which just basically translates to um God and my guru, they were both standing in front of me. And who do we bow down to first? It's the guru, because guru is the one who leads us to God.
Yeah.
So bit of a tangent to hop again, but at the same time, I do realize where you're coming from in terms of having mentors, having gurus in your life, or having people who you look up to and you learn from.
Yeah.
Would you be open to anyone who's watching contacting you, seeking any advice or learning from you? If you're not, I'll cut this part out. But yeah, would you be?
Yeah, of course. I'm happy to help. If someone reach out to me, and I get text, I get calls from at least from multiple peoples every week regarding their professions in IT, regarding um, some of their ideas and advice on their personal life as well. And I try my best to share my knowledge from my little experience. And some of them has been benefited. Some of them, some of them really appreciated this. And many people appreciate my journey as an international student. Coming from a very different background and being being in an entrepreneurship in here, and also trying to support the local community, especially in the IT fields and IT sectors. I get a lot of messages and contacts through different channels, and I try my best, even though I'm busy throughout the day. I try as much as this for 5, 10, 15 minutes. I talk to them like, you can do this one. And at this stage, I call myself the dot connectors, because I am literally, because in case of IT professions, if someone comes to me, I can take a much people, because all I can do, I can afford 4 to 5 team members in my team now, the amount of work I have got. So what I try to do, I try to connect them with other businesses or other people, or or other network who needs them, so they can reach out to them. But sometimes they just come and they don't understand how does this industry work. So I try to connect them with those, other, connection that I have got who might meet them, and then that's how they can be connected too. And that's why I've been, so this is what I've been doing casually. Now, to make it more professional, I brought in CodeUp into, to be honest, like, because CodeUp into would really help them to connect themselves with the industry, with some similar kind of contacts that they need in their different phases of life, especially when they're in dull. Yeah. So that's the goal. But your audience, your connections, please feel free to advise them to come and talk. I'm happy to talk. Could be more or less time, but I'm happy to talk and share my knowledge as well. And if I'm not able to provide enough advice, I'm happy to connect with the related connections that I have got, so that they can collaborate and talk to each other.
You said you've been here 10 years now.
Almost here
In Australia or in Darwin?
in Darwin.
In Darwin.
Yeah.
And how about Australia?
Yeah, like I came in Darwin for the years, been living here since the years.
Fair enough. So it's definitely been a long journey, 10 years.
Yeah.
You built yourself up, so great. You've done so well in your life. If you were to reflect on these 10 years in a summary, how would you look at the whole thing in these 10 years? How would you look at the whole process, the whole journey? Or if you were, just expand a bit on that if you can, please.
Yeah, it has been a journey of ups and downs. I have gone through different phases. I've been broke. I've been frustrated. I've been depressed. I at some stage I went to PTSD as well. But I never gave up. That's one thing I did do. I never gave up. Never gave up. I always trusted in myself, no matter what. I'll overcome this situation, and I'll make myself, not probably a very successful person, but at least a countable person in the society and community, so that I can go and talk to someone, I can be friend of someone, and people will consider me as a part of the community, as a gentleman, and that worked out. Yeah, that people. So a few phrases wasn't great phrases. I tried my best to overcome those phrases, and I overcome. Now I'm in such phrases that I get a lot of appreciation from people, and people likes and loves the work I do. So I'm grateful to people as well, to the community people who look at my work that I'm trying to do, and especially my team members that they are doing great job for for True Brothers services and other perspective that I'm related to. So yeah, if I summarize the journey, I would have say it's been quite difficult being from another culture, another community, and the country of the world, and being here. It wasn't a very smooth ocean. But again, another quote: "A smooth ocean will never make you a great sailor." So it was a very, very critical and difficult and unstable, unsustained phases I have gone through, and that's what made me experiencing things, made me confident, sustained, and trust on myself too. Yeah. So
Great.
yeah, it's been roller coaster journey, to be honest.
Brilliant. This has been so great, Rifat. Just to further let you know, this is just me for now, just collecting lots of podcasts, and this is gonna go out in 2025, beginning of the year. So just just a small brief thing for everyone.
Yeah.
Starting the new year. From Rifat, tell us.
Okay. First thing first, I will advise you to create some great resolution for next year. and happy New Year in advance. If you're listening on 2025, even though it's December 2024, I would like to wish you a very successful New Year. That can be starting for focusing on your 3F, your family, finance, and your fitness. I would say advise you to start with at least your 2F, family and fitness, which is quite easy for you. You can get a gym membership for $14, and you can make a call to your family. Even if you are in such a bad relationship with your family, I hope you are not. You can talk to them and say like, "Hey, mom, hey, dad, I love you a lot." If they're still alive, if they're not, talk to the very closest one who you love most. Can be your siblings, can be your other member of the family. So get close to your family as much as possible. Focus on your fitness, because trust me, if you are perfect enough, it doesn't have to be perfect, super perfect enough. If you are good enough, the universe will force the success to come to you. So you will be an asset. Yourself will be an asset who will acquire finance, who will acquire knowledge, who will acquire economy. So make yourself a great asset. Make yourself it as a person who speaks on the stage. People listen to you, people follow you, people talk to you. Even if you are introvert, I won't judge you, but try to get out, try to talk as much as possible. If not, the people who walks in silence grows faster than the people who's louder. So again, as I just mentioned that quote bit earlier, that it's rain who helps to grow flowers, not the thunder. So you are the rain. Be the rain and grow something in your life, something for the community, something for your family. Look at if you are international students, look at our family, look at our background. And in here in Australia or wherever in the world you are at this moment, look at your family and just close your eyes and think, are you here with a goal or with a mission to do something for you and for your family or not? If the answer is yes, start from today, because if you start from small, if you start slowly, it lasts longer. So keep it up. Don't give up. That's my advice, only advice. Don't give up.
Great. Thank you so much, Rifat. Thanks a lot for being
My pleasure. My podcast.
been so amazing.
It was. I'm very much enjoyed this session, this discussion, and yeah, definitely happy to help in future as well.
I new audience too. I would love to have you on again. I feel like although I personally I've learned so much from you just within the span of these couple of hours. I had IT issues, struggling with these stuff, but you were kind to me. You stayed with me, and I really appreciate it.